All right, so are you the freight broker that looks past the short distance lanes to get to those longer distance lanes? You bypass the 200 miles, the 100, the 75, the even 50-mile lanes because what you're thinking is, hey, I'm looking for the big fish. I'm looking for the 500 miles, the 700, the 1,000 miles, because you're saying to yourself, there'll be more room to make profit in longer distance lanes because there's more money in those lanes, right? That's the logical way of looking at it. So you're bypassing these shorter distance lanes because there's not as much money, not as much room to make profit. But in today's video, as you know, I'm going to tell you why that could be a mistake. So come on inside, sit back, relax, and enjoy this video. Now let's get down into the business. First of all, I want to commend your thinking. You're thinking about profit. That's why you're thinking about the longer distance lanes, and that's A-okay. I want your mind geared toward profit because in this business, it's all about making money. As a matter of fact, in any business, it's about making money. So I like that your thinking is aligned with profit. But with that said, what we cannot forget is that we're providing a service to a shipper. So it's not just about what we want. It's about what is good for the shipper. And just like your shipper has long distance lanes, he has short distance lanes. And just like he needs service to move those long distance, he needs that same service to move the short distance lanes. So we want to be able to provide what the shipper needs. Now, yes, we also want to think about profit and all of that good stuff. But when we are looking at short distance lanes, we are not thinking about profit. We're still having profit in mind. And what you're going to see is that these short distance lanes can help you stay consistent, gives you more successful pickups and drop-offs, which of course helps you to build confidence with the shipper. They are now saying, hey, this person does what he says he's going to do. He does it every single time. And we want that. We want that shipper to look to us and say, that person I can depend on. That company I can depend on. Because when they do that, now we're going to get more opportunities. So we want to have these opportunities with these short distance lanes to develop that confidence with the shipper, develop that trust. Also, it's going to bridge some of your gaps in profit margins. When you have those short distance lanes, you're not making as much money, I couldn't get that out, but you're making money more frequently because oftentimes when you're moving short distance lanes, they move more often. That lane may move 2 to 3, 4 times a week as compared to one that you may have 1,000-mile lane and may only move 1 time a week. And yes, these loads may have slimmer margins on the front end, but they provide super big value on the back end because of the value that you're providing to your shipper. And at the end of the day, that's what it's all about. How much value do you provide to your shipper? What do you bring to the table? How can I see a benefit in what it is that you do for me? And if I can see that benefit, is that something that I'm willing to continue on with? Does it provide enough of a benefit that I'm willing to pay for it? That's the questions that you have to ask in your mind. And if your shipper can say yes to that, then they are more likely to keep working with you. So we want to give them reasons to work with us. One way that we can do that is to be a problem solver, to solve some of those issues that they have. One issue that they have is they have to have short distance loads moved just like they have to have long distance loads moved. For example, we had a load moving from Lexington, North Carolina to Marshville, North Carolina. That's an intrastate load. About 75 miles is what it is in total distance. Now, when we first got that load, we had $550 in the load. And my partner was moving the load. And he said to me one day, he said, hey man, I'm just gonna go ahead and give this load back because we're not making any money in it. Every time we move it, we are moving it for $550. So I asked him, I said, hey, let me take a look at it. I'll deal with this particular lane. And the reason why I wanted to look at that lane is because if it was $550 in the lane, if it was 70 miles, then that means that we are just paying too much to move the lane. So I said, hey, let me look at it. And I started to look at it and dial in on the numbers. And every time we moved that load, we would move that load for $400 to the shipper, sometimes $450, and there was a total of $550 in the load. So we're making $100 to $150 every time that load moves. Sometimes that load would move twice a day, 3 times in a week. And on a good day, I can go to the carrier at $3.75. So I'm gonna make some money in this load. I'm not making a whole lot of money, but what I am doing is making some money, and I am developing some consistency with my word with the shipper. And that is what's important, especially in the early stages. When we're trying to build that trust, when we're trying to show the shipper we can do what we say we can do, that we're competent, that we're trustworthy, that we're deserving of the opportunity that that shipper is providing to us. Because at the end of the day, the shipper has choices. We are just one of those choices. And we want to be a consistent choice, somebody that shipper chooses and chooses over and over and over again because of the value that we provide. Remember this, it's not about what your shipper can do for you. It's about what you can do for your shipper. When you understand that, when you put that up front, then you're going to build better relationship with your shippers. You're going to get more opportunities, and of course, you're going to make more money because of that. So that's what I wanted to share with you today. Don't miss out on the short distance lanes. They can provide a whole lot to you and your business, not just in the form of profit, but in the form of long-term profit because of you being able to develop that trust, the confidence in the shipper by doing what you say that you're going to do. So I'm not looking for what the shipper can do for me. I'm intentionally looking for what I can do for the shipper. Because at the end of the day, it's about what kind of value do I bring to the table? What kind of reasons do I give the shipper to keep working with me, to keep paying me? Because if I'm not giving him reasons, then he's very likely to go somewhere else. So that's what I wanted to share with you today. I certainly hope this information has been helpful. If you want to know more about the freight broker business, I'm going to leave a free link in the description. It's my 5-video series titled How the Load Movement Process Works. It'll give you a look into the freight broker business, let you see how it works. That way you can take a look at it and observe it and decide for yourself if it's something that you want to go into. And then if you want to see the load board and how we use that load board as freight brokers to go out and post loads, to search for trucks, to use that rate sourcing tool so that we can get rates back to our shippers, I'm going to leave you a free tutorial here. So until the next time, I wish you the very best in your life and business. See you at the top, because the bottom is much too crowded.